Today on the podcast, a Cinderella story at 200 miles per hour in the heat of July. Trust me on this one, follow along, it's worth it.
Hop in, buckle up, and get ready to lay it on the line. This is Not Speeding, Just Qualifying, a podcast that's just as fast as it sounds.
Hello everybody, I'm David Lawrence. Welcome to the Not Speeding, Just Qualifying podcast. I appreciate you for joining me for today's episode. Before I get started, make sure your qualifying setup is all dialed in and ready to go for pole position. Hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel or search Not Speeding, Just Qualifying in the podcast section of the YouTube Music app. Subscribe today. This Sunday at Indianapolis, NASCAR will pay out $1 million in the inaugural NASCAR In-Season Challenge, a bracket-style tournament that has played out over the last 5 weeks to give NASCAR fans something else to talk about instead of the race to the playoffs. Some will say it's done nothing to pique interest. Others, myself included, will say it's produced quite a story, as one of the last drivers standing in the spirit of the tournament is a true Cinderella story no one saw coming. So today, let's shine a light on this Cinderella, Colic Racing's Ty Dillon. But first, some context. Ty was born into racing. He's the grandson of team owner Richard Childress, the son of former NASCAR Xfinity driver Mike Dillon, and yes, the younger brother of former Daytona 500 champion Austin. So with all this passion for motorsport around him, it's only natural Ty caught the bug as well. After learning his trade in go-karts and bandoleros, Ty transitioned into stock cars. He made his debut in the K&N Series in 2009. After a pair of part-time campaigns, Ty transitioned to the ARCA Menard Series, where as a rookie, he won the series title in 2011, at the time the youngest ARCA champion in series history. During that 2011 campaign, Ty also got his first taste of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, a preview of things to come. In 2012, his big brother Austin, fresh off a title himself that year in the Truck Series, was graduating to Xfinity. Ty would move into the number 3 truck, fielded by his grandfather, vacated by his older brother. He would go on to grab his first win that year in Atlanta en route to a solid 4th in points. 2013 would be an amazing year for Ty in the Truck Series. Only one DNF and only one finish outside the top 20 when he did see the checkered flag. 12 top 10s, 9 top 5s, and 2 wins would see Ty finish the season runner-up to Matt Crafton. As the stars aligned again, Austin, fresh off an Xfinity title in 2013, making the move to Cup in 2014, Ty was moving up again, taking the wheel of the number 3, once again vacated by his brother, but this time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for the 2014 season. Ty had been making select starts in the series in 2012 and 2013, so it would not be completely new turf to him. In his rookie season, he lived up to the hype. Only one DNF, finishing in the top 20 in every race he finished. 24 top 10s, 7 top 5s, and his first Xfinity Series win. His reward for that win, his Cup debut for his grandfather appropriately in Atlanta that fall. Now, it would be nice if I ended the story here, but unfortunately for Ty, this season where he finished 5th in points, some would say, would kind of be his career peak. While he bettered his points finish to 3rd in 2015, he failed to find victory lane. 2016 would see more consistency that we saw in 2015, another 5th in points, but still no wins to show for it. After performing admirably in Xfinity, improving his worth over 3 seasons, it was time for Ty to join Cup full-time. Unfortunately, his grandfather didn't have the resources to field him full-time in Cup. Enter Germain Racing, who had a technical alliance with RCR. With full sponsorship backing from Geico, Ty Dillon joined the team for his rookie campaign in 2017. Over his 4-year stint with Germain, Dillon's performance can be seen by many as underwhelming. The bright spot, though, would be the super speedways. Dillon would score 6 top 10s, 2 top 5s during his 4-year run with Germain Racing. 5 of those 6 top 10s would come on super speedways, his third at Talladega in the fall of 2020, to this day his best finish in Cup. After Germain Racing folded following the 2020 season, Ty was left without a full-time ride. He would find refuge at Toyota, of all places, for 2021, getting partial deals with Gaunt Racing in Cup and Joe Gibbs Racing in Xfinity. Not much came of either opportunity, unfortunately, and he found himself back in Chevrolet equipment by mid-season, again patching together partial deals. For 2022, he was back in Cup full-time, driving the new second car for the newly merged Petty GMS team. While teammate Eric Jones pulled a Southern 500 win out of his hat in September, Ty was quiet and mostly nowhere to be found. His highlight of the season, a 10th in the Bristol Dirt Race. With a combination of a new owner coming in with Jimmy Johnson, a talented Noah Gragson waiting in the wings, and his aforementioned underperformance, Ty was out of the 42 at season's end. On the verge of the 2023 season, however, Ty landed at Spire Motorsports in their number 77 Chevrolet. But just like 2022, Ty again was quiet and underwhelming. Yes, NASCAR fans, you can be forgiven for forgetting Ty was in the field at all at this point. An 11th in the Daytona Summer Race would end up being his best finish of the season. With Spire building up aspirations to become a front-running team, even an expansion to 3 cars for 2024 cannot spare Dillon a seat on the grid. Ty found refuge in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series for 2024 with a full-time ride with Rackley War Racing. At this point, with Ty finding most of his success in NASCAR in the Truck Series, this was seen as a great opportunity to gain confidence and win a race or two to prove he still has the talent, if not the drive. But once again, Ty proved quiet and unimpressive. A pair of 9ths were his best results, and a further kick in the teeth came when Ty didn't even finish the season out. He yielded the seat to Dawson Sutton as they were evaluating him for the 2025 season. For what it's worth, Ty also made spot appearances in Cup and Xfinity as well. Again, you can be forgiven for thinking Ty Dillon was retired at this point. You can also understand fans saying Ty isn't cut out for NASCAR, at least not Cup. He hasn't won a race in over 10 years and feels more like a field filler than a contender. So you can imagine everyone's surprise when Kaulig, out of the blue, announces Ty to their second Cup seat for 2025. This is where I would like to mention Kaulig's team is housed on the RCR campus. It's not what you know, it's who you know, kids. Never forget it. Critics, by all means, were unimpressed at the move. Again, they were quick to point out Dillon has not performed in Cup machinery consistently. But alas, here we are. Ty Dillon with another full-time Cup ride. Again, Ty has been quiet, if not underwhelming, throughout the season thus far. But with 6 top 20 finishes in the first 13 races, Ty put himself in position to qualify for the inaugural NASCAR In-Season Challenge Tournament. A nice little in-season quirk with $1 million prize at the end of the rainbow for the top 32 in points after the first 14 races of the season. Going into the first race of the tournament in Atlanta, however, everyone was expecting him to fall flat on his face in a one-and-done scenario. In the 3 races that determined the seeding for the tournament, Dillon did not perform well. In fact, he entered the bracket dead last, the 32 seed. And he definitely wasn't given a chance against the 1 seed, Denny Hamlin, the man who you could argue made the case for this tournament to become a reality in the first place. But then Atlanta happened, and it threw up a big 1-minute race that took out a lot of major contenders, Hamlin included. Dillon made it through the wreck, And as Hamlin didn't make it back out, Dillon found an opportunity to capitalize. Not only did he survive the first round of the bracket, which many already written him off, he put a period on the best night of his season with an 8th place finish. Against all odds, Dillon survived, which would make what would happen next all the more astounding. On the streets of Chicago, Dillon was matched up against Brad Keselowski, but Keselowski was involved in the lap 3 crash and was eliminated on the spot. As Brad would not return, once again, avoiding the incident, Ty Dillon guaranteed his advancement to the quarterfinals of the in-season challenge. At Sonoma, Dillon was paired with Hendrick Motorsports driver Alex Bowman. Many thought surely this would be the end of his run. And at the restart with 7 laps to go, it surely looked as much. Bowman 28th, Dillon 31st on the restart. But after Ricky Stenhouse Jr. wrecked and the S's and had us do one final restart, as fate would have it, Dillon and Bowman side by side on the restart. Bowman led Dillon up to the last lap at turn 11. Dillon, seeing his opportunity at $1 million, gave Bowman a Dale Earnhardt-style chrome horn. Didn't wreck him, but as old Dale would say, just rattled his cage a little bit. Sending him out of the racing line, and through went Dillon, finishing 17th to Bowman's 19th. Again, Ty Dillon survived the bracket to the semi-finals of the in-season challenge. At Dover, against John Hunter Nemechek, some would argue a favorable matchup for Dillon for a change in the bracket. Dillon would have the better of the Legacy Motor Club driver, and when Dillon had the pace to stay on the lead lap, while Nemechek was stuck a lap down and would not be able to regain his lap back through the double overtime at the end, Dillon found himself in position against all odds. Ty Dillon survived the in-season bracket again. This time, moving on to the finals, the championship race this Sunday. He will race for $1 million. But I gotta keep the realism here. Once again, Dillon faces a tall task. His final opponent in this bracket challenge is another Ty, young Ty Gibbs. Yes, the same Ty Gibbs that broke Dillon's record as the youngest ARCA Menards champion, but who's counting? During the tournament run, Gibbs has been gunpoint consistent. If you take out his 14th place finish in Atlanta, that saw him through the first round of the bracket, 3 straight top 7 finishes followed, and as the 6th seed, it's safe to say Gibbs is the bettor's favorite to grab the check on Sunday. But if Ty Dillon has anything to look forward to, it's where the final race of the bracket challenge will be held. Notice I didn't say where Ty Dillon grabbed his one and only Xfinity win. It was here, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Not to mention his colleague team have found their way to victory lane here before. Yes, I know it was the road course, but a win at Indianapolis is a win at Indianapolis you can't take away from it. But if these 2 examples tell us anything, it is to expect the unexpected. This is what this tournament is all about after all. It has brought a driver yet to win a racing cup. Many say this driver is only here because of his deep family roots in the sport, driving for teams that have no business contending for any trophy or prize into the spotlight. Say what you want about the tournament, from it being fun to being all-out gimmick, but here we are, talking about a driver that we would regularly not be giving a lot of attention to. He has outlasted, survived, and conquered the bracket up to this point. And this Sunday, he is looking to defy the odds one more time. And if he does, he will finish a chapter that many undoubtedly will see as his finest hour as a driver. So if you love the underdog, if you love a Cinderella story, consider cheering Ty Dillon on this Sunday in the Brickyard 400. Yes, it won't add up to much in the grand scheme of things. But maybe Sunday, for one day at least, Ty Dillon can have his moment in the Cup Series sun in the most unexpected way possible. All right, family, that's our episode for today. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Are you listening and have a topic or series you want us to cover on the show? Drop a comment on any of our episodes and let us know. You can also reach out to us by email at dalmotorsports@gmail.com. The email address again, dalmotorsports@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you all. We also would love for you to connect with us on social media. Blue Sky, X, Instagram, TikTok, we're all at the same handle at NSJQ Podcast. Subscribe to our show so you don't miss whenever we drop new content for the pod. Also, like and share our stuff. The more you like and share, the more YouTube will start recommending our episodes to others. Lastly, if you want to follow me on my personal social media handles, links will be to those in the description box to this episode. I'll talk to you all again for another episode of the Not Speeding, Just Qualifying podcast. Until then, I'm David Lawrence. Always remember, you're not living life to the fullest until you're going flat out. So long, everyone.